Cool book clubbing.
Heading to book club. Are you?
Yes.
Meet you there.
See you there.
Book club, club meeting.
I like this book, but I can't explain why. Maybe I'll figure it out as we discuss it.
Good girl, Charlie.
Even Charlie's at book club.
I should not be this nervous about what you all thought of the book. Even the best translations from Kree lose subtext.
Everyone ready to kick this off?
Let's do it.
I am ready.
Carol, this was your book, so you can start.
I'll throw it back to you. What did you think of the book?
I had a rough time with it.
You didn't like it?
Didn't say that. At first I spent more time referencing the glossary than reading the book.
Sounds familiar. What changed?
I noticed a kind of rhythm to the words. I began to see them as lyrics to a song. All that dry talk faded and it finally came together. The lyrics made it feel much bigger than a chapter on Kree farming implements.
Yeah, I could not figure any of it out. I thought a post-hole digger was a new kind of demon.
At first I thought it was for digging graves at closed casket funerals, but the lyrics helped me keep with it. Once I caught on, I kept reading and didn't rely on the glossary. I picked everything up from context. That's when I realized none of this was about farming. I'm surprised how much stuck with me, despite some concepts being legit alien to me.
Agreed. For me, the rhythm wasn't lyrics. It was more like the book was written to a cadence.
That's why I had you read it on your Spark. The mnemonic lexicon won't work with a hard copy.
The what now?
An ancient Kree technique. It helps you remember texts that would otherwise be considered... There's no Kree word for stuffy, but essentially that. But all that's packaging. Hunter, did you figure out what the bloom and the harvest represent?
Of course I did.
Kree vegetable cultivation techniques on a grand scale.
Exactly.
Are you joking?
Are you?
Yes.
Maybe.
Okay, but you're still right.
Yeah, I got it right.
At the time of the book's writing, the Kree cared most about integrating captured territory while still expanding their empire. Conquered worlds came with people. Rather than treat them as prisoners, the Kree provided them with most benefits enjoyed by Kree citizens. This period is known as the Cultivation.
I knew it.
So the bloom was when they gained full citizenship under their conquerors.
No, it's when the world requested it. As long as they could feed themselves with Kree farming techniques and defend their world with Kree defenses, the request was granted with few exceptions.
So what's the harvest?
As part of the service required by the Empire, many of these new citizens began the cultivation of freshly conquered worlds.
So they were living examples. Show the newly conquered what they could achieve if they went along with the Empire.
That's also how vampires work.
Carol, I think I pieced together the Kree strategy.
Do tell.
It's all tied to agriculture. Every soldier knows you can't fight if you can't eat, but they applied this to their expansion. Till the field, sow the seed, pull the weed, reap the crop. It means the Kree wouldn't advance until the territory they took was secure and productive.
Well said, Steve.
If your enemy knows how you will act, they can prepare.
Certainly, for other spacefaring empires. But most worlds had no idea the Kree existed until the invasion was underway. But the Kree expansion had momentum. They could afford to push harder because their whole weight was behind the advance. Unless a world could push just as hard, it would eventually fall under Kree control. Carol, how was that?
Close enough to impress me. The strategy in Volume 32 wasn't perfect, but it worked out for the Kree far more often than it failed.
What happened when it failed?
That's covered in Volume 33.
Okay.
And that's book club. Steve, you're up next. What's your book?
The Mantle of Authority by General Chester Phillips.
Is this the one you keep saying I should read?
The very same. Now you have to. It's book club.
Before I forget, I asked Logan to join us next time.
Logan.
I hope you enjoy the book I chose.
Why do you say that?
It's about people who weren't around until after your death. But I'm sure you'll figure out the context.
So Logan's coming next time?
So why choose this book?
Volume 30 was way too spicy for this crowd.
Go on.
I'm kidding. It's relevant to what we're facing today. Hydra, the Lilin, your mom, they seem to have the upper hand all over the world.
Sure, but I want to hear more about that spicy book.
I guarantee you don't. Ancient Kree takes on population husbandry are, let's call it, mechanically quaint.
Right, but on a scale of 1 to 10,
How
how
spicy.
spicy?
-5. Ration paste bland, apartment wall vanilla, hotel art banal, even the diagrams are boring.
How so?
It's all geometric shapes. Until I realized they were representational, I was extremely confused about Kree biology. Let's just say that I can never look at an octagon the way I used to.
Okay. Let's go talk to Blade.
Okay, just between us, Carol's book was extremely weird, right?
I should read the first 31 volumes for context.
You should not, nor should you read the one after this.
How many more are there?
At least 400.
Whoa.
According to Carol, this was one of the good ones.
You should be honest with Carol.
I'm always honest with Carol. But if I tell her it was a weird book, I'll sound like I don't know much about her adopted culture.
And how is that bad? You do not know, so this is the perfect opportunity to ask.
Good point. All right, I'll do it. Thanks, Hunter.
Good luck.
You headed out?
Yep.
I am taking off.
Good meeting.
Let's do this one.
Carol,
That's Mother again.
Subscribe! Family protects one another. Family loves one another. Family would do anything to save one another. Is that not what these heroes of yours preach? Then why abandon you at the doorstep of that wretched pretender Mephisto, my precious child?
My family saved me. It was the coward Blaze that sold me out.
Perhaps. Still, Blaze is no coward. And he is most certainly not a friend to Mephisto. For him to have made such a deal, all the more reason I must have the page.
Too bad.
I knew you were going to go there.
Hear me, child. Say what you will about Johnny Blaze, but his soul is one of the strongest I have ever encountered. He has carried the parchment for decades without succumbing to its call, battled angels and demons alike, and rattled the thrones of far too many gods.
It almost seems like you admire him.
I simply state the facts. Now he is free of the page, and another takes on the mantle of its guardian.
Robbie.
Do you really think he will prevail over the parchment of power?
I hope so.
The Midnight Suns are no strangers to darkness, Mother. Controlling it is what we do.
The Darkhold is beyond any notion you have of darkness. It has no master, save for he that wrote it. My original offer still stands. If you truly value your friend, relieve him of his burden and surrender the parchment to me.
Wrong
Ignore
answer.
my warning, and Blaze's betrayal will be a fond memory compared to what is coming next.
No, that can't be. I had that dream too.
Maybe it was something we ate.
Don't you mean someone?
I don't know. This stinks of a hex or a curse or something.
If we all had the same nightmare, does that mean we all share the same subconscious neurosis?
God, I hope not.
The probability of every single one of us walking the same dream state is 1,000,000,000 trillion to 1. It must mean something.
Yeah, it means we might want to have a little chat with our friendly neighborhood hunter.
Oh, I knew I should have let Mr. Murdoch copyright that for me.
I still can't get that image out of my mind.
Same here. And that's saying a lot these days.
I'm sure there's a logical explanation for this all.
There is... the parchment.
I knew that page would find a way of messing with our heads.
Or maybe it was warning us about you-know-who.
Hello?
Did you have the dream?
What dream?
I'm here if you want to talk about it.
I'm assuming you had the same dream last night as the rest of us.
I am pretty sure I did not. What was it?
I'll let Wanda tell you. She's better at communicating those kinds of things. All I can say is, what I saw last night made me worry about you.
Uh-oh.
I appreciate the concern, Robbie, but I'm all right. Whatever happened was just a dream.
Yeah, you seem all right standing here in the light of day. But that dream last night feels like too much of a coincidence that every single person in this abbey shared it.
I wish I could explain it.
Maybe it is the page, messing with us, trying to make us suspicious of each other.
It is possible. The full effects of the Parchment of Power have gone largely unstudied.
And they will remain unstudied. Honestly, I can't wait for it to be destroyed.
So, you are not going to read it?
Hell no. And not just because I suspect it's giving me bad dreams. Because I know whatever Blaze read set him off so hard that he betrayed us.
The page most likely tricked him into believing the outcome was destined to be in Lilith's favor.
And that's why I'm not going to read it. Like, ever. I think Wanda wants to talk to you.
Okay.
I should stop monopolizing your time and
Let's go talk to
let her
Wanda.
get a word in. Oh, and Hunter,
Yes, Robbie?
take care of yourself, okay? Like, really take care.
I always do. What is everyone so upset about?
A nightmare. We all had the same one last night, and it has unnerved us. Wondering if you had the same one too. Would be weird if you were the only one in the Abbey who didn't.
You mean the one about Lilith?
Wait, you had a dream about Lilith?
Is that not the one you all had?
No, Hunter. We had a dream about you. And it was a pretty awful one too.
What? What about me?
Let's just say you...
Betrayed everyone?
Something threw you above us. Your face twisted in what could only be described as extreme agony. And that's as far as I want to remember. I don't want to freak you out. I mean, it was just a dream, right?
Probably. Everything will be all right.
I just hope you're all right. Nightmare or not, it's shaken us up.
Wanda, I promise you. It was just a dream.
How can you be so sure? We should probably stop talking now. Everyone is staring.
They are staring?
Yep.
They really are frightened, are they not?
Hey, if it makes you feel any better, everyone here is just as afraid of me as they are of you.